Between good and evil, the reality is mud. Everything is compromise. Everyone has blood on their hands. The difference is whose blood and why. You're rotated back to Langley after 14 months. Your psychological evaluation flags some concerns. Nothing disqualifying, but enough that they pull you from active deployment. You spend 6 months training the next generation of ground branch operators. You teach them the tactics. You teach them the tradecraft. What you can't teach them is how to carry what comes after. Some will figure it out. Some will break. Some will become something else entirely. Something necessary, but not quite human anymore. You see yourself in their faces during training. Eager, confident, certain they're ready for what's coming. They're not. Nobody ever is. But they'll learn, or they'll wash out, or they'll end up as another star on the wall at Langley. That's the real final level of the CIA. Not retirement, not a pension and a quiet life. The final level is becoming part of a machine that never stops, never rests, never questions whether it should exist. You are the sharp end of American...
Oh yeah, good question. Okay, so someone in class was just saying, that was a beautiful statement. Someone who's kind of been through the ropes for a while. Good morning. Right, so they're saying that it's not about doing the most dangerous things, death-defying, having a close brush with death and a cool story to tell. Not that those aren't cool stories and aren't something that should be listened to if somebody wants to talk about those experiences. They're just merely saying that it's about when you take on a life of service to those kind of jobs, to be able to have an unbiased mind, to be able to take on some of those cases, the personal identification stuff, not let your emotions get the best of you. Just even putting yourself in the position of having to listen to and be in the conscious realm and awareness of these horrible cases that we hear about day in and day out. Because as you can see, many people don't seem to care or even want to bother themselves with hearing about any of it. It just happens. And anyone who bothers themselves with educating themselves about it or trying to educate others has a mental illness and they're sick and they need help. It's disgusting and it's disturbing, and these things need to stop. Hey, Fox News, you want to educate people about that, or are you too scared you're going to offend your viewers? It's really fucking sick and disgusting and disturbing, actually, what's been going on. So yeah, that's a really beautiful statement. They're saying, yeah, just putting yourself in the position of, you know, a lot of different jobs you can name off. Just being a human being. You don't have to have a title or a label or have a college degree to be a caring human being. Right. What's that? You want to talk about fluoride? Oh, for dear heaven's sake, why? Oh, okay, yeah, someone's mentioning how they're talking about fluoride again in the news. Geez, that's cycling through? Yeah, big surprise. Oh, geez, hold on. That was just a dream. So the fluoride stuff, yeah, for years people made fun of it because when they say things like children exposed to fluoride seem to have a lower IQ score as opposed to actually addressing the actual issues or concerns, the fear propaganda associated to it, because many think it's just totally fine. So what are the underlying takeaways there? Yeah, that when they do the fluoride studies, and what are they basing those opinions off of? Off of people that were getting the fluoride, right? Because they can only base those opinions off of documented people that they know. Right, so that would have been like people on the WIC program. Remember the WIC programs and stuff? Yeah, and you used to see in the grocery stores, WIC approved, WIC approved, WIC approved. And you'd get your WIC checks every month. Right, so those people were in the basket of those that they were using for their demographics, right? And then, of course, some people trying not to be mean were like, well, of course, those kids are probably gonna, like generally, on an overall scale, when you do the numbers, yeah, probably the lower income people on WIC program are going to have a lower IQ score than those from more well-to-do, above middle class. Yeah, and so when you start to look at that and go, okay, so what's the difference? Is it just they're with mean people, alcoholics, drug addicts, criminal? Okay, so what? I know, it gets really retarded. You're trying to understand these people, and it gets so fucking stupid when you see how they shuffle around this funding with these programs. No Child Left Behind. 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10. The shit needs to be addressed. My name's Mary, and we are here in Augusta, Maine. And I have 4 children. And my youngest 2 are in the hands of sick mother his pedophiles. And, yeah, someone needs to do something about that. This isn't a fucking show. We're not trying to impress anybody. No, see, we don't do impressions. People just mimic our off-the-wall impressions and characters that just come out. When you're in these kind of situations and you're around such fucking stupid and nasty pieces of shit that are protecting child molesters and drug traffickers and using your children as pawns to prove their fucking points. Yeah, when you're around that kind of sickness and sick people, and what happened with the private investigator in 2009, what happened with the little boy he beat up in the tub, what happened with, right. So the fact that these things are still not being addressed, and people don't even dare to talk about the vaccines or overprescribing of SSRIs and actually fear the non-vaxxers and are pushing the SSRIs and alcohol onto our children, not to mention fighting in psychedelics and who built the fucking pyramids. I mean, it gets so fucking stupid. Really. Where are all the adults? I took it and threw it on the ground. So anyways, if you have any suggestions as to how we can help those kids without breaking the law, that would be fucking great. Because we're surrounded by nasty fucking immature pieces of shit adults that are profiting from the abuse of our children, not to mention their disabilities. You sick fucks. 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you pieces of shit around here that are bulldogging for these fucking punk-ass abusers. Eat shit and die, you nasty fucking people. Anyways, much love, health, and peace to the rest of you. We're going to go make our rice. And we're going to music class. What's that? You want to watch Ramsay first? Oh, okay. We're watching Gordon Ramsay Can't Stop Laughing at His Food Kitchen Nightmares full episode. We'll watch that. Can I put it on 1.25 speed? Awesome. All right. See, compromise. Compromise. See, now that is someone that before you couldn't even put it on 1.1. I don't care if you were listening to the slowest talking person, even if there was no words. You could not change the speed. Everything had to be the way it was put on there. And you know what? They just agreed to 1.25. We're making progress. Good job. I'm so proud of you.
Excellent. Okay. You're gonna...
What are you going to put in your rice? What are you going to put in your rice?
Oh, fuck.